They choose the 20th of June 1942 as the day for their escape. The three of them have got to make their way up onto the first floor, all the time praying nobody's going to find them in there. Inside, SS uniforms, pristine, gleaming. Quickly they strip off their camp rags and they put them on. They feel different. So Ginek's going to be the driver. Chace speaks German. He's got the peaked cap. He is going to be Rudolf Hess, the camp commander. The other two are going to be passengers in the back. Now, this is all great, but they're missing one very important thing. They don't have any papers, documents, passes, nothing. And so the plan, not perhaps the best plan in the world, but it's the only one they've got, is they're going to drive fast. They're going to trust that the guards are going to be frightened enough to open the gate without asking to see anything. And after not a very long time, the final gate to the perimeter wall comes into view. And they can see it. They're really heading towards it fast, and all the armed guards are milling around there and the barrier's down. And as they zoom towards it, the barrier stays down. No one's even saluting. They're all just standing around. And there's 120 metres to go, and Jinek has to slow the car down into second gear. And Chace thinks to himself, well, we tried. And there's 100 metres to go, and the barrier is still down, and they're driving slowly towards it. And Chace, in his heart, he says goodbye to his mother, who he's never going to see again. And there's 80 metres to go, and he sneaks a look at his companions who are grey, and the sweat is pouring from them. And he thinks, I'm going to have to be quick. And he goes over that movement in his head of taking the gun and pointing it to himself. And there's 50 metres to go, and the barrier is still down, and Joseph, the priest, bangs Chace on the back, and he goes, Chace, do something. And suddenly, he's back in the moment. He's like, yes! What am I thinking? I am supposed to be the camp commander. And all of a sudden, he is not frightened anymore. And the car stops at the checkpoint, and Chace opens the door, and he turns to the guards and he says, what the hell do you think you're doing? Making me wait! Can you not see I'm in a hurry? Open this gate right now or I'll open you! And the guards are terrified, and they all salute, and one pulls the string and opens the barrier, and Chace gets back in. And he drives away, and the barrier closes behind. And they were never recaptured.
He stood up to the SS.
Yeah, Chace.
And then he stood up and had that confidence to boost himself up that quickly and think, right, I'm going to do this. I want my freedom. Yeah. I'm going to fight for it.
Yeah.
I think the most striking part is I was actually quite worried that Chace weren't going to pass the last one, and I was getting really scared that he wasn't going to pass, he was going to get back, he was going to kill himself, like I was getting real scared. But then when I realised, and then when he was acting like the commander and shouting at them, it was kind of felt like it was revenge for everything the SS guards has done for him. He can shout at them and scare them, and it just feels like, it just felt like that was the most biggest part for me.
Kids all over the country are going to be hearing around this story, and because the story was like he never gave up, so like it teaches other people that like if he did it back then in the most like hardest situation, like why shouldn't we in the most easiest situations we have nowadays? So I think it's like a really big inspiration to all of us now.
I think it's relevant because like I don't think we understand how lucky we are and how we've had an easy life compared to people who had to escape to live.
Everybody should know about Chace's past because he's been through some horrors. Like everybody should know, like, because I don't want him to think that it's just a memory, just something we live. This is like hell to him, and we want to be supportive, and so this is very, very relevant relevant to us because we should know about what happened to him.
I just liked being put in another person's shoes and being through so much.
He thought it was impossible to have freedom, but like he's just showed us that that's just thinking. Like if you do something about your thoughts, then it shows that the impossible can be made possible.